Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is ManTheMaker. Welcome to a brand new Let's Play series for Thea 2, The Shattering. This game is a wonderful, just nice mix of a couple of different genres. You got your strategies, your 4X strategies, your role-playing, get a little bit of card games in there, a little bit of this adventure feel, I want to say. Maybe I hesitate a little bit on that one. And mixes them all up together in a really, really delightful, well-made game. Inspired by Slavic mythology, not something you see too often, and I'm always happy to see things from a different perspective. Not your typical Greek or Roman, for example, or English mythologies. And in this, we take place in the world of Thea. Things are afoot. We are a god of sorts, having selected a chosen amongst the people who will further our cause, and presumably things will be shattering in some form or another. I have played this game before, once even on this channel while the game was still in early access. I think this was back in January 2019. Quite enjoyed it. Was still in early access, and I think I stopped playing after, I don't know, 20 or 30 episodes because a new build broke the game. Well, that's not going to happen anymore. They've made a lot of changes since then, and I've been quite eager to get my hands dirty on it again. I mean, they did, again, release the game once, I don't know, within the past month, I'm not sure. Muha Games being the developers. And yeah, when it came out, it kind of caught my eye again. I was like, oh yeah, I had a lot of fun with that. I know they've polished it up a bit, and I didn't get far into the story, so there's a lot that we can still learn. And I know, again, things have changed, so I'm very excited to see what can go on. I'm no master of the game. I did do a small kind of little practice run not too long ago. Didn't do the greatest in that, I won't lie, but we have had success in the past before, and I have faith in my abilities to succeed. So I think we're just going to go ahead and we're going to get started. We'll go ahead in the single player game. We will just do a new game. Now, you get to pick your god. Who do you want to start as in the beginning? Now, you're kind of locked, right? In order to actually unlock all of the gods, you can do one of two things. You can change your profile, right? And in fact, I think I just have player here, so I could go ahead and do that. But I'm going to stick with ManTheMaker. That's one way to change who you can actually unlock. The other way is to actually beat the game, I think. Yeah, it requires 3 god points. We only have 2. So unfortunately, we cannot be Hortz, Ortsfagrog, or Triglav. These guys all look awesome. Or Naya. Nia. I do not know how to pronounce things using in any kind of Slavic accent, so bear with me on that. Who do we have? We've got Sivana, and we have Zoria. Now, the last time we played, we did play as Sviana, the huntress. Essentially, she's kind of all about that nature. All about that nature. We're not going to do her this time. We are going to go with Zoria this time. Zoria. My father claims the right to be the master of light and the sun, but it is we who ride the dark skies in their infinity. The morning star rises far and faded. It is subtle and ever watchful of her enemies. The noon star hangs low and heavy, ready to rush into combat and devour its enemies. The evening star lights up the skies and readies for war. Zoria, Zorza, the Auroras, all names given to us by those brave enough to follow. I am the bright blade of the night and the shining gauntlet of the day. I hold the beast that would devour our world in my palm, and I laugh in the face of the enemy. Be bold, be brutal, and be swift. Enemies of balance grow in strength once more. I will tear them apart and devour their entrails. Join me. Yeah, okay, we'll do that. So, as Zoria, we get access to a couple of things. One, War Cry. This is like a special ability, right? This is one of the things that makes us unique. Every time an enemy character comes into the battlefield, the delay of your character standing on the battlefield is reduced. Now, what does that actually mean? I mean, basically, okay, it makes you better at fighting in all of the different ways that you can actually fight in this game. It's not just fisticuffs and magic here. You can also bandy with words. which can be quite challenging if you're not prepared for it. That being said, this is we'll get further into that as the game progresses. We won't worry too much about what the delay thing means and standing on the battlefields, your characters, blah, blah. The other way that you kind of get to hone who you are based on your choice is this: domain, turmoil, domain, magic, and domain neutral. Now everyone kind of has their domain neutral, but you can see here, and all kind of changes, different combinations, some even being more particular, like this guy has turmoil, nature, and light, and only 3 neutral. Same thing with this. We only have the 2 uniques available to us. Turmoil, divine domain of change and chaos, born of darkness itself. It is but often patron to warfare, but also progress. People are yelling inside my window, but it's quite warm for me to close that. I will close it for now, and maybe they will settle down. They are making chicken motions. Interesting. With their arms, little wings. Anyways, sorry, I digress. We also have the choice for magic, divine domain of the mystical forces that bind all things, patron of witchcraft and wisdom, often leads close to darkness. Now, what does that mean? Well, we're about to find out. But first, yeah, we can change the difficulty. I'm not gonna do that because I'm not very good at this game. So we're just gonna go with the default 100%. Fine. I'm actually a little bit disappointed that it starts on easy. Should it not be on normal? Should we not play on normal? I think we're stick with the... Man, I should have clicked on this. We'll stick with the default, man. We'll just stick with the default. You can yell at me later. We're just going with what it starts you off as, okay? There'll be plenty of time. Look at all these unlocks we gotta do. Don't even know how many God points you get when you do win. Anyways, next. Should not have done that. Now I feel the internet is going to laugh at me. Anyways, so down here you can see we have all of our slots. We've got scavenger. Because, can I actually unselect this? I can. Ooh. Yes, right. We start, because of our traits, magic and turmoil, we start with a scavenger and a warrior. Now, we can do other things, but, well, actually we cannot. We have very limited choices. These things also unlock with God points. As you can see, there's a fair number of unlocks that you can do here. Right? Family weapon. I can't do any of this, so we're very limited. Obviously, then we will start with a warrior. And we will start with the scavenger. These are people who will be joining our party. Pretty simple. Now we can also pick from the neutrals. There's a fair amount of neutrals here. As you can see, we can add another warrior, a gatherer, craftsman, child, 2 children. Makes things a little bit harder in the very beginning, but actually can kind of grow a little bit faster, right? Once your children grow up, and you don't know what they will grow up into, it's actually maybe even a little bit better. The question is, what do we want to start with? I mean, I do tend to start with a warrior and a gatherer. Now we can start with random gems and a crow pet, also extra food and 1 piece of equipment, or a scoundrel and the children. I almost never go for the children here. I almost always go for, I think, the crow's hidden gems. But I will try out the additional human children. We cannot. We have too many points here assigned. Right, because these are free. Hence why I never go for the child. Now I could give up this scoundrel for the children. Dare I? Dare I make it that difficult for me? We can unlock something. Actually, I have 2 God points. Technically, we can unlock a young plotter gatherer, young orc, a goblin skirmisher, tainted goblin champ. No, these are, wow, very expensive to unlock. Rats are expensive to unlock as well. I don't think I want to spend my points because I kind of want to find out what is available in the future. Like, Natural knowledge. Yeah. Tough guy over here. We're not going to really look into any of this because we kind of just want to get started. Now, I suppose we will just start with the gems. I would like the children. We could get the children instead of the gatherer craftsmen, but they are just so good. Let's go for the children. Screw it. We'll go for the children. We're maxed out there. Boom. Done. Next. We can now choose our own class, mind you, right? So we hadn't done this before. We can become an apprentice warrior. We can start as a hunter as well. Scavenger, warrior, or craftsman. Now, we do have a scavenger. Do we want to be a second scavenger? Another warrior? It's the same to not have the scoundrel. It really is. Doesn't actually tell you much about them. So, we're going to have to... These guys we can kind of guess, right? Scavengers are scavengers. Warriors are warriors. Craftsmen are craftsmen. Gatherers are gatherers. A scoundrel, what does that mean? I think they're good with their words, right? Which we'll kind of get into that as the game progresses. I think we're just going to stick with this. Human scavenger, abandoned by the gods long ago and driven to madness, they survive by any means necessary. Proficient in physical challenges, strong and tough. Crafting elements and construction. Harvesting. An apprentice warrior or an apprentice hunter. Now we don't have a hunter. But that's a lot of children. That's a lot of children. I think we're going to go with another scavenger here. It's a bit risky, but I think we're going to go for it. Character name. ManTheMaker. We're going to go simple here. Actually, you know what? A name that I've kind of been using in some of my other games is Carnelian. I just like it. I feel like this is going to become kind of one of my standards here on the channel. All right, boom. Let's go ahead. Start the game. We already read all about Zariah. Now, we haven't really talked much about the gameplay itself. Now, we're going to start up on a map made up of hexes. And you don't have a settlement. We are going to be exploring, primarily for quite a long time, wandering around the map, gathering, exploring, getting into things that we don't really understand yet, finding out what's going on in the world, turn-based, of course, as I said, and yeah, really just kind of figuring it out. Oh. I don't know if I'm going to let him speak because he's very slow. Tell him to beat it. We don't want to skip the story. You guys want the story, right? Theodore's the name. I wish I could shut him up though. Apparently I cannot. So we're going to click through it. Okay. I'm going to click through it. And if you guys want to read this, you can go for it. The problem is I don't really like that he's talking and that I can't shut him up. It's quite annoying. But I also want to give you the story here. This is quite annoying to me. There shouldn't be an option to shut him up. Right. So, then we met ourselves a little demon here, Theodore. He's not so much resident. Cosmic Seed, yes, Thea is far from ill into prosperity. Darkness was defeated long ago, but is not gone. It lurks in the corner and attacks at night. The Shattering tears the earth asunder, and a scorching light takes hold of folk without protection. Seed and others like it is a gift of the divine, a piece of the cosmic tree itself. Can grant great boons, allow you to set up a village and provide divine protection. But if you wish the life of a traveler, if you're skilled enough to create another seed one day, the seed can be used to forge divine artifacts, even bring back a comrade from the clutches of death. So one cannot build villages without a seed. Indeed, without the seed or different means that other factions may possess, a village attracts the cursed light and is taken by it within days. And if somehow that does not happen, terrors of darkness will drive your folk insane. So light and dark, they're so great, as it turns out. This is how it has been in Thea for many centuries now. That's why we struggle yet to still survive another day. He may pop up again. Yep, and he's going to give us a little bit of stuff. Boom, he gave us some wood. which we use for crafting as well as camping, which you'll see. A little bit of food, which of course we need. Some research points and some experience points. Thank you very much. Welcome to the map of Thea. Probably looks fairly familiar, you know, like kind of your civilizations, but I assure you it does not play at all like Civilization. And in fact, you know, I'm going to take a quick look here. There we go. Turn down those voiceovers. They are good. The voiceovers are quite good, but it does tend to make the game drag a bit. I will be reading them much faster. Right, here we are. First turn. It is summer. Now, lots of menus going on over here. And the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to kind of dive in and take a look at our people. We've got the 5 members of our party here. Carnelian, the scavenger, right? He is equipped with 2 wooden wands. We got this guy here. He is our warrior, equipped with 2 amber mallets, dual wielding over there. Kalina here has a leather artifact, soul red, with her amber crossbow. Our Bedamir, child with the amber club. We got some people wearing some armors here. Lots of things to take in the beginning, right? We've got all kinds of stats. We'll go over it a little bit slow, but I'm not going to dive too deep, partly because of my own limit of knowledge, but also partly because, you know, as things present themselves, they will come up. The first thing, and probably the most important thing to really kind of grasp yourself into this game, is these, right? You've got your physical attributes. You've got your, mental attributes. And you've got your spiritual attributes. Now, these are all used in combat. However, there are different kinds of combats in the game. Not all combat, as I said, breaks down to just physical, nor does it break down to just magic. But there's also mental. And there's even that split up into 2 different kinds. Some let you use your artifacts. Some do not. I'm not even too entirely sure on that. So you have to be very, very careful about the types of combats that you get into. And this really does want you, you kind of want to specialize your characters a little bit, but you need a little bit of diversity as well. I do believe. But, if I'm wrong, go ahead and tell me otherwise. Now, obviously, some characters are better at some things than others. Like our warrior here tends to be very good at fighting in attacks, in physical combats. This guy here, and you can kind of tell by their weapon, right? There it says, weapon attack 1.5x in the purple and in the yellow. That means that he can actually do damage in those. However, the attack, if you see next to it, only uses this. I'm not even entirely sure what that can even mean. I believe it means that's its primary attribute, which gives it its abilities. And then it can only be effective in certain combats. Now, sometimes you can only use this thing called like your basic attack, basically. I'm getting a little bit too deep into it, but just suffice to know that for combat, that's how that works. Your armors also provide shielding and essentially hit points in each different category, depending. This one is physical only. You can get higher health in each different category by boosting different attributes as well. You can see your health here, 19, 19, and 24. Why is that? Well, Carnelian is just better in the spiritual realm, whereas this guy here is obviously going to have higher max health because they're better in the physical. We do start here with the crow. It does increase perception. I don't think anybody uses perception primarily. This bow does. She's got very low stats. It does increase rituals, which we won't be using. We will give her the crow, because her weapon, you can see there, uses 1.2x her weapon attack. It's still only 4. It's still quite bad, but it's something. Bronya. Yeah, you are just terrible at that. What does this do? Yeah, so we're actually, I think I'm going to take this away from Kalina and give it to Bronya. Because if you notice, Bronya's abilities here, she's got higher intelligence. And what does this use? Sometimes it uses, oh no, it only uses that. only using wisdom, right? And I will also just, we got strength, perception, intelligence, wisdom, mysticism, and destiny. They all kind of affect different things, as I had previously stated. Strength effects carry limits in health, often damage as well. Perception, gathering luck in health, often damage as well if the weapon uses it. Right, that's the key here. Primary mental attribute affects research and crafting abilities and sanity, which is your mental health. Affects luck, rituals, crafting, and gathering abilities and sanity as well, which is your mental health. This one affects research and rituals and faith, as well as destiny affecting gathering, crafting, research, rituals, luck, and faith. Spiritual health. Now over here on the right side, these are kind of like the things that are extrapolated out from over here. You have gathering, how good you are at gathering, crafting, research, rituals, and luck. Luck is kind of just a catch-all. Wow, this episode is going to go on a little bit longer because there's quite a bit to start off in the game. And I probably already spent too much time over here. But so I say these things add up to make these things better. And, so our crafter here has higher crafting. Why is that? Probably because I believe it's intelligence and wisdom that gives a bonus to crafting. Some other things do, or I don't think so. I think it's just that. Yeah, no, destiny also actually contributes. So you're going to want to kind of tool your characters to be better at certain things. I'm not going to worry anymore about that. Now, primary things to do in the early game. Now that we've kind of battled on probably far too long about the specifics of our character stats, the primary thing to do is we need to get out there and we need to find materials in the world and then turn these materials into food, number one. We need wood to kind of survive. You need wood to heal at camping and to really just to camp, I think. Otherwise, you have bad things happening in the dark. And then also there's lots of other materials. We'll take a quick look at the research tree. Just a quick look to see all of the materials that are available to you. Yes, these are the research. But we start with gemstones, a certain kind of wood, stone, metal, leathers, and bone. Now, we'll need to actually research to get more advanced things, but these are like the basic materials that you can then combine into anything made in the game. More advanced materials give you better results from the crafting that you do. Also, improving your research into the crafting here. You can see we have very limited crafting. We actually can't make any of this stuff. We do have to research it in order to be able to make even the most basic club or axe or sword or ring or ranged weapons or whatever have you. Advancing them up increases your proficiency in that. Does a number of things. It unlocks, I believe it unlocks actually just like higher tier things, but also more recipe types. So, I mean, having armors and then having medium armor expert, this can make, your basic armor, but a number of different kinds, but also is limited in which recipes you can use, right? So you might unlock that and then be stuck with only being able to use rubies and metals. Or not rubies, rather gems and metals. A different armor can maybe have an alternate where it can use sandstone or stones and woods. It gets very complicated. A lot of decisions to make there. Other researches, you can also research the different kind of meal types. The more variety in food you have, the happier your people are. As well as finally into constructions. And I believe these are rituals. Yes. This is only necessary once you actually settle in a place, which will not be happening for quite some time. And as I said, the first things you want to do, take your steps out into the world and kind of find good resources. The resources you find will also direct your research. The traits and areas that your people are either good in or that you are lacking in, like, for example, I have to click here. We don't want to look at our inventory just yet. Bronia here does not have a weapon. She's got very, very, very high wisdom. We would love to give her the ability to use that wisdom in combat somehow. So, it might be worth looking into the things that use wisdom in your research to kind of shore us up in that. Now, how do we find that? Wisdom, I think, is stuff down in here. Artifacts. Spiritual and mental, which breaks up into heavy artifacts and one-handed. Also, scrolls. One- and two-handed skills that do not have basic attack skill, but they give you spells. So these are powerful at dealing damage, dealing attacks, but scrolls give you spells. So, if you were in mental, there might be some mental spells. I actually have no idea. Probably more spiritual things. But we would, we're going to want, for example, to get our friend here an artifact as quick as we can. So, we have one turn to go, right? We got one certain amount of action points. You can see here, we can move a certain amount, and let's go and do it. It takes 3 movement. We can move out there. There is a way we can see here the first things available to us to harvest. We've got fruit, we've got malachite, and way over there we got fish. You can only harvest in an area around you, at least initially, right? 1 tile away. Also, we don't have malachite even researched, so there's not really, it's not the greatest thing to do. We also have an active quest here. He wants us to go somewhere. I actually don't recall exactly what he wants us to do, but we'll get out there. Here we go, logbook. He wants us to gather, check for resources, set up camp for crafting, cooking. Okay, he actually doesn't really say much here. He'll just come back probably, but we want to we want to kind of move as far as we can. I think we can even move here. We can. Now, are we out of movement? We are. Now our turn is over. We could just end it and not do anything, or we can end it using the wood that we have to be able to gather and craft. So we can actually now set up camp. I'm going to dip back out of here. You can see that now we're in a camp. Only inside of camps can you do research, can you craft, can you gather. Excuse me. So you have to do this, or of course from your actual settlement. Only inside of a camp can you actually do this. And there's a fair number of things we can look. What is available to gather? Well, we can gather some fruit this turn. If we assign our best gatherer, it picks them from the list automatically. You can see everyone gives a certain amount of points. We need 90 to complete a collection. If we don't get that in 1 turn and then we leave the next turn, we lose any progress. So right now we need just a little bit more. We can drop her there. We can now see in 1 turn we will have successfully gathered 1 batch. 10? Is it 10 comma parentheses 27? Not really sure what the parentheses mean there. But we will gather, I guess, 10 of these, which is useful, right? We definitely need food. You can totally starve in this game. What else can we do? We can also attempt to craft things. This is manage equipment. We can attempt to craft things here. We can see all the things available to us. Crafting tool, gathering tool, and the other ring, right? This is what you would use for your cosmic seed. We're not going to do that. And we actually don't have any of the materials necessary. You can see we need 1 thing from the primary material and 1 thing from the secondary material. So it demands 18 of these and 10 of these. We don't have enough of them, so we can't actually make them. Or, I mean, it does allow me to click confirm here. Okay, it does actually give me the opportunity, but I think it's going to be quite bad. We're not going to be doing that. Oh, did I actually? Can I cancel that? Yes, I want to cancel that. Oh, I'm actually surprised that it has the X here, but it did allow me to attempt to do it. Anyways, depending on what you put here, different materials have different essences, right? You can see there we've got different colors next to the gem essence. There's different powers that they can give, and mixing them together it gives you kind of different things. I'm not even entirely sure on the math going on there, But like putting that there. And our dark wood here, right? You can see this. This gives us up to this breakpoint, which is that 18. That means we've got 18 essence, which gives us that 2.7 increased gathering speed in the end. If we use our other wood here, suddenly it's much below that breakpoint. 1.9 increased gatherings. So we would actually need to improve that. We can try it with this one as well. It's also not enough. So you need to get to breakpoints to be able to have this level up, and using better materials and some different combinations of materials that have different types of essences, I believe, will give that bonus. Now we're going to stay here only for one turn, so it's not worth us actually attempting to craft anything. We can look at cooking in composites. We can make some sweetmeats here. We need the meats. And we need this. This turns into relata. Well, yeah. I mean, whenever you're waiting somewhere, you want to try your best to get as much done. Now we can see we've got quite a proficient crafter here. Cooking is crafting in the game. And in real life, it is a bit of an art, I would even say. And we're going to go way over this. They will do, so we're going to get 3 times the normal amount. But you always want your people doing something if you can help it. You can also have them contribute to research. But if we have them do this now, right, we can say, yeah, go help out with the research. 8 turns and a bit of research will be done. But we're going to leave next turn. It's not actually going to do anything for us. So, I mean, we can have them there, but they are wasted. We can also do rituals, which right now we only know the one. Spiritual healing. Don't need to worry about that, but heals your spiritual health, obviously. And yeah, here you can see we've got our food management. We can tell people, hey, don't burn the dark wood, please. You can burn the coal. You can burn the wood. Don't burn the dark wood. I would prefer people to use their cooked food, but right now we actually don't have any. So we will just kind of allow them. If I say use raw food, we have no food. Yeah. We want them to definitely use the cooked food, but we don't have any, so we're just not going to be able to do that. Last thing you can see down here, we've got 6 people in our party. We got no movement points left. 16 turns of food, 26 turns of fire, and we're carrying 764 out of 5,156. And with that, before we end it, this episode has gone on super long, but I wanted to at least finish my introductory bit here. Next episode, we're going to actually click end turn, and things are going to start going, accelerating, I would say, a fair amount going forward. I mean, I'm still going to explain a number of things, but a lot of it has gone over. We're also going to learn together. I mean, I am by no means a master of this game, and the information that I've given here is the best that I can muster. There are some facts in there. There is some opinions. Take the opinions as you will. Like I said, I am by no means master, and we are going to definitely learn quite a bit. If you know more than me, put it down in the comments. Tell me how I'm wrong. Tell me what I could do better. I really appreciate that. I do listen. I do learn a lot from you guys in the past in all manners of games. So I really appreciate that. If you guys enjoyed this episode, give me a like button. What's up? Show the appreciation. I appreciate that myself, and I will say thank you preemptively to all those who do that. Subscriptions, of course, also help out the channel a fair bit. This will be the last time in this series that I really ask for these things. I do try to just put it out there in the beginning, go against the bulk of advice, and just say, hey, I'm only going to bother you people once. Other than that, you do what you will. Do what you will. But I do hope you enjoyed the episode. I do hope you stick around. New episodes for this coming out every day if you're coming here live. If not, I plan on taking this series through to completion. So, stick around for that if the episodes are still coming out. If not, then it's probably done. And then you got a plethora of delicious content coming up ahead of us. So, until next time, my name is ManTheMaker. Take care, everybody. Have a wonderful day.